Hello, welcome to Wolfeboro, New Hampshire. My name is Jeffrey Button. Call me Jeff. This is part of the Back Bay area, and the Smith River runs quite a ways up there. We're going to be walking along it today. Right now I'm just walking up toward the boat ramp, and here we have a bass boat that just came out. So small boats can come down on this public ramp here. And they can make their way out to the big lake if they want. There's a small bridge there, so only small boats can go out there. You have to make sure they take their antennas down or they'll break it. Some docks here for boats to park in. And they have Sea-Doo rentals there. A couple of places over there, some condominiums and some businesses and restaurants. Up there is the future home of a toy railroad station in the red building. It's been in the making for a couple of years. And there's a small public park here, Bean Park, that was privately donated. Some of the parks are from private donations, families, or some of the different groups in town. Nice little place, couple picnic tables there. Yep, model railroad. It's the Bridge Falls path. Wolfeboro Station. It's the warehouse. This is not over there. Railroad Museum. And over there used to be the old railroad station. Train tracks would come right up to here. This path is Cotton Valley Trail path there. So it goes a long distance. So we are right over here. Is the bay, the bridge I was talking about. And I typically I'll walk up to over here, Mast Landings. Sometimes I go a little further. But if I have a short trip, it's usually in here. I might start at the bay. You could take bikes, walk. It goes quite a ways. A long distance. There's a lot of benches and gardens that are put on. This one's put on by the Rotary Club. It's a nice, real pretty tree. So all along the trail, at least this section of the trail, there's little places to seat. Some of them are like over here. You can see it was donated in honor of somebody, Ann and Jerry. And then there's one over there, but place to put your bikes. Little playground over there. These lights I just put in last year, pretty nice. Of course, I don't know if I've even seen them lit up yet. Over there, I got a couple places where you can plug your electric vehicle in. You can see that big white thing over there. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. That there is a ski jump, and out there they have it And they'll have flags and stuff so they can, like a, kind of like slalom skiing, and they go over the jumps. Look at that. There's a bunch of geese over here. You see them? Across the way is a boathouse. Place to dock boats, and more picnic tables over here. Some areas that you can sit at. This is a very nice spot. Not too many boats come in here because it's very shallow. So in the lake, there's a bunch of decent fish fishing over here. It's shallow. There's a lot of good bass fishing and bluegill, some crappie. I'll show you a spot where I fished a lot with my grandson. Oh yeah, look at that. I don't see that very often. This has got like babies. Look at the babies. Babies. Bunch of babies, and the mamas and the papas. Pretty cool. A couple of weeks ago, I was out walking down the trail. Spooked the geese. They went out in the water. Actually, it was a loon. Spooked the loon when he went out in the water, and then I saw the 3 geese out there, and they started honking. And they also just recently fixed this culvert here. Free all the cat nine tails. And they've maintained the trail and widened it a lot. Take out all the holes and flatten it out, add more gravel. This here's got a lot of nice pretty birches. More benches, tables to sit at. Tennis courts, pickleball courts, baseball fields over there. The story is really that over there is actually the real Back Bay. They used to lumber up here and get all polluted, so they fill it all in. And the other bay was actually the front bay, but now it's called Back Bay. There's a picture of Wolfeboro. Places to go to see. Information. Down over there, usually every, I think it's Tuesdays and Fridays from noon to 4 o'clock, from the Boat Museum group. They have electronic sailboats. They have contests, two different sizes. It's kind of neat. Some of these guys travel all the way up down to Florida in different places, and they enter competition and stuff. Back Bay history here. The Boston and Maine Railroad bed separated the Back Bay and the Front Bay. Ran all the way to the town docks. Now, the interesting fact about this town is it's the oldest summer resort in North America. There's some bricks. These books are usually of different people. Anybody can buy them, but it's supposed to be a children's advocate group. A couple of years ago, I met a woman that was cleaning it out, and her son's brick is in, and she lost her son like I lost my son, too young. Actually, her son was a good friend of my daughter's. There's another. Kind of sometimes thinking about doing that for myself. Somebody's out here fishing. You get fish here in this section, but it's not as good, but still nice. Surprising, there's hardly anybody on the trail. Usually I like going around 6 o'clock at night. It's really quiet. It's cool, especially this time of year. Today's very hot. It's in the 80s here today. It's kind of crazy, but take it. Look at those big ducks way across. Bunch of big riding ducks, I guess, big ducks. So some of the drainage system from the Back Bay area, the old Back Bay. So comes into here. This is a cool spot. So this is an area where I fish a lot and just hang out. It's a pretty kind of spot. It's almost like got natural seats for me. Good place. I caught some nice big bass here. Of course, the big one that got away too. Yeah, look at these rocks. They're almost like chairs. To get a better view. All right, in a second. So, yeah, here's a little spot I sit in a lot. Back right here. It's the lake. I should say the Back Bay. It's called Back Bay. So this is actually part of the Smith River system. Smith River runs from down through Governor's Lake and Crescent Lake from Crescent Lake to Governor's Lake. There's a man-made channel, or might have been a river, but they widened it so even pontoon boats can go up through it. And I think this weekend is when they have the Smith River canoe race. So that'll be interesting. My brother's been in it many times. Actually, they made him and his son, they made a stripper canoe. A real small strips of wood, and the thing was thin and sleek, and it was fast. And they actually won the race a couple of years, so that was interesting. Let's see if we get a different view of the rocks here. Don't even have to bring a chair, but I've also caught a nice big one like over here. But over the years, they've had issues with milfoil. It got brought into the lake, and it's got real bad. So, actually, I haven't gone fishing in a couple of years. The last time I went, it was pretty bad, but they put some chemicals in it last year to kill it off. It looks like it's a lot better, but it's still early season, so we won't know until later. Butterfly. Starting to see some people. Kids got out of school, so they're hitting the trail. Here's the spot down here. This is where I spooked that loon the other day, a couple weeks ago. But down in here, usually in early spring, you'll see either the bass, or the light's right, you can see the bass or the bluegills spawning. Over there, there's a kids used to hang out by. There's a nice piece of property that was up for sale. I don't know if it's sold, but it was probably in the millions, but it would have been a real nice spot to buy. Nice flat, pretty flat land considering, and it's right on the water. Kind of expensive to buy anything around here. Up ahead is the Falls Bridge, Pat Bridge, actually. There used to be an old mill there. That ran actually up into the early 1980s. Not sure what they manufactured there, but as you go along the trail, you'll find some historical plaques that tells you a little bit about the different places. So yeah, this is the old railroad bed. They've really widened it. It's probably 3 times wider than it used to be. It's really flat. It's nice. Was there somebody prospecting here? I know, that's kind of funny. I don't know. It just broke off naturally, maybe. But there's a little trail that walks along the left side there. Squirrels and chickens everywhere, and that trail is right down to the falls. You'll see some of the old metal debris from the mill there still. I think the falls though is starting to need some repairs, but what do I know? So depending on the height of the water, they'll have to raise it and lower it. You look over there, distance, you can see that's the chimney part of the old mill. You can see some airbend stacks over there too. So yeah, we used to drive my car down there and park over there, and we used to fish over there. It almost looked like it started to build a building down there. It was just warped bent wood, plywood and stuff, but you could catch fish off of there as well. But, of course, you could get some graffiti. Not as bad as some, so I guess it's not too bad, but still. You hear it. It's going good because of all the rain we had last week. I can just sit here, it's so beautiful, peaceful. A lot of times I see birds that'll fly over right next to me over here. Sometimes, right down in there, the lake, see the salmon, see, pretty big. Salmon here are landlocked salmon, so we usually breed them up the road a ways and put them in the year. There are some that are essentially breeding because they've been here for a long time. one of the old Yeah, when I come down here and there's ice and stuff, I'm like real careful. I don't want to fall off that edge. Take a view of it. Probably 20-25 feet down into the rock metal. Not a good landing. Alright, this is it. Berry Mill at Wolfeboro Falls. There was a sawmill here in early 1769, followed by a grist mill. A piano stuff factory along with a machine shop connected to the Excelsior production. All which were powered by hydropower from the first mill in 1769. There were no fewer than 20 owners who oversaw the production of this facility until the 1900s. The name Berry Mill is the name associated with the defunct facility today. This was taken in 1930s. Oh, that's kind of cool. I don't know if this was hit before. But Mr. Plaque said that this is the Smith River. So this is kind of cool here with the reeds and stuff. It's real pretty. You can see the old tank over there. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Drove by on a bike. But yeah, that building in the wintertime during Christmas season, they have just Christmas tree festival, and that's pretty neat. I think I went there once with my kids, with Santa and Santa's wife's there. Some more photos of the railroad station when it was functioning. Pointing to the boat museum, but they have a lot bigger place, a new home across. When I was first walking across the back bay there, never been to that. Should go to when the new one's in. I should go to that train station. There's another museum that's down by Tuftonville, the Libby Museum. It's like a natural museum. Not very big, but still quick. About an hour maybe in and out, less. And you got the Clock Museum up in town too. So there's a number of museums in town. Not to mention all the restaurants and shops. But I don't get out too many of them often. When you're single, you usually don't like going out much. Here's part of the Smith River here. And here's some of the old railroad tracks. So I think they should just pull these out. I think they've widened this trail a little bit, this section here across the road. Once you cross the road, it's not as nice. And they've done some work to it, but there's not too many places to sit. Do here and there, and a picnic table down the end. But nevertheless, it's still pretty. You're closer to homes here, though. But like you saw, there's Smith River leading to the back bay. That leads into Lake Wentworth. And then up on the right side, we'll come up to Crescent Lake and Lake Wentworth, Governor Lake Wentworth. And there's some little small, like, kind of ponds on the left side. So I probably won't go to today. A little bit further out, but that's connected to, some of them are connected to the two other lakes, and we'll kind of come up to a section here where there's some ledge on both sides, and they've used that rock that they cut out for the train track to build the causeway with. Yeah, so they used to cut the ice on Crescent Lake, Governor's Lake there, and they would drag it across Causeway area, across those two little ponds, and then up into a pond where they would cover it with sawdust. And it would keep that was for refrigeration for back then, so it would keep cold all through summer long. Be ice. And they actually shipped it all the way down to Boston. So these tracks, they're in major repair, so I doubt they're even gonna be used anymore. But 10 plus years ago, they used to be like little private little, I don't know, 15 by 10 or whatever they were size, small little engine type of platform, and I was going to church up the way, so we'd see them every Sunday going by a couple of times driving down these tracks. But I've not seen anybody on them in years. So I think since I'm not going to use them, I really should just pull them up and widen this trail. You get some areas here, like see, it's kind of moist here, but I guess I'm not complaining. I used to walk down riverbeds just to go hiking, but during the middle of the summer, when the population triples or quadruples here, it get busy, and you get people on bikes and stuff. So it's nice when it's wider. And I just saw a woman running with her child in a stroller, so it can get used quite a bit. But you can see up ahead the darkest spot there. There's two ledges. That's where they cut that rock out for the causeway. A rock cut. So 60,000 tons. Operation began in 1872. Photo was taken in 1930s. That's cool. It's like coming through this, snowstorm. There's the rock cut here. On that side. I know, you want to prospect it. It's like going through some of my trips, whether it's New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine. You see these cutaways of these giant cliff sides. It's like, to make the road system, it's just crazy how much rock they removed. But I guess that's part of progress. I don't know. I may have the energy to show you the causeway. I may not go to the end, but I'll just show you it. Another time show you some of the other side, and maybe LB Beach on Lake Wentworth. We're coming up, right now we're coming up in Crescent Lake. So this is we got a public boat ramp here too. So we got the lower parking lot here, right, and up on the left, these stairways here. So there's another small parking lot. And the designer of this, I think something that PA would like. What he's been doing, he was telling me about it. So this is Mast Landing. Yeah, so a lot of the trees were cut around here during the colonial period, and then they were flowed down that Smith River, and they were used for the sailing ships of the British Royal Navy. That's why they call it Mast Landing. Yeah, and there's several islands out there. The Big Lake has a lot of islands. Should be a little plaque about how they made this place. Yep. It's over by the water. I like coming down here and just walking to the end of the dock. I fished there a few times, but not much. But in the fall, this is the colors up here. I got some real nice pictures. Just amazing. So, stormwater treatment for surfaces. Explain how it was made. Everything is environmentally safe now these days. So I got before, kind of before and after. This is Crescent Lake. Up that way is where the dock is shaking. Up there is the channel. So that means boats in there. That's a good spot to fish up there in the channel. They have bass fishing tournaments here. They bring a big glass tank and bring the bass in and weigh them up there. It's pretty cool. But yeah, they have lots of bass tournaments in, well, between probably here and Lake Wentworth or whatever. But the lake goes up and around the right. This lake isn't very big. Wentworth is fairly decent size, and Witten Neck Road is quite big. I guess they need more room for more boats. So, at least temporarily. Anyways, show you the front view again. You can see it's in a fairly decent sized pontoon boat over there. That pontoon boat can actually go up those canals and get underneath the bridge. And then go from one lake to the other. Yeah, you can see this is actually, it is a railroad. And they just filled it in, but it gets wet spots and stuff like that here. But we'll manage. There was a picnic table back there at the Mast Landing that you could rest and sit at. And then there's a granite seat up there ahead you can sit at. Sometimes I fished on that corner here, but there's people's private property in and out along here, so you respect them. Some of these places are also rentals and stuff. There's a couple new homes that are renovated. These ones have been redone. Oh, it's bumpy here. It's just dips between the railroad ties. Grow old along with me. The best is yet to be. Browning. But yeah, here's the beginning of the causeway with the stones. So there's this causeway, and then there's another one further up. I think that's for Lake Wentworth. So over here, well, something different. They cut down a bunch of the bushes here. That weeping willow is pretty cool. Some geese over there. Down here, we're cutting a lot of nice crappie and bluegill. Bass over that way, further down. Some on the right side as well. But yeah, it was like, well, 8 years ago, and I caught myself a big crappie, and I was like shocked because I didn't think we had it. Grackle. That's Crescent Lake. Goes off that way. Mast Landing is down to the right here. Here is the It does get hot out here though, in the middle of summer in this section, so usually try to be here later in the evening. When it's not so sunny like right now. The sun kind of disappeared. Another canal. Maybe you can see it, but it's right over here. Beautiful sounds of spring. Love the sound of the birds. So that bridge there goes across this basically an islands over here. Some nice homes over there. But just talking to a woman that was fishing, and there's a couple of kids over there fishing. It's that time of year. It's good to get out. Birds are everywhere. Leaves are popping. But yeah, that bridge there, my kids used to jump off of there. But My grandson is turning 19 next month. And his dad, we used to fish there, but me and my grandson were fishing there a couple of years ago, and we were catching some nice fish over there, nice bass. You could see them right underneath the water. But nothing huge, but there were some big ones around, but they just weren't biting. My bad back and other issues. Just tough getting going, especially in the spring after a long winter. But at another point, I'll show you the other side somewhat. And I also want to take you to a cross-country ski area. Let's get some small hills and nice wide trails and a lot of cross trails with that are designed for snowshoers, bike paths and stuff. So, and the place is well marked for the trails. It's kind of neat. Some big loops and stuff you can go by and stuff. Look at that. No jumping, diving from bridge for a town code. Now, I don't think that was there before, but you know, people do stuff sometimes and they do foolish things and then they get hurt. And then they ruin the fun maybe for other people, but I mean, you can't be dangerous. You don't do things right. Nope, I can see a fish down there, a couple of them. I see some, don't lose my sunglasses. I'll zoom in on them in a second here. I'll put my glasses away. Let's see. See if we can see them. Oh yeah, there they are. Tiny bit more. Looks like there's some small bass in there. I'll walk down and get a little closer. The pond is like wicked right now. I'll have to say I've never seen the river this high before. This is canal, so just around the corner up that way is into Lake Wentworth. You see where they're up by the edge of these rocks there. That's as far as it goes out usually. So you get this narrow channel here that they float in. Well, it must come out at least to the edge of those docks, but not the size of them during the peak of summer. At least I don't recall it like that. People have some real pretty trees over there. The colors, I don't know if you can't really see them. Let me zoom in. Let's see, pretty. I don't see it or not, but this rock has got some kind of cool greenish metallic to it. But I'm wondering if it's leaching off the whatever creosote off of those. There's green on that too. But gotta be careful over there. I do this. There's been animals that lived underneath here because I've seen the scat and stuff underneath here. Probably going after dead fish or something. But yeah, see how oh, it is. So you can't have mast antennas up when you go underneath here. Of course, also it's a lot, like I said, it's a lot higher. It's my knee popping. I really don't see any fish right now. Oh, there's some over there. See if I can, like, I don't know if I'll zoom in again. Let's see, because the pollen is wicked. The pollen is bad. It is that time of year. Anyways, that's where I came from. Smith River Road. So the next time I come here, I will park my car somewhere here, only enough for 2 or 3 cars, maybe one on the other side, and then I'll take you down the other end, that way. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming on the walk with me. I had a good time. Met a couple people, talked to them. Usually don't get to talk to people who are running. Sometimes they're just with earbuds and they don't hear you. Just run on by. And people doing selfies like me. No, I usually stop, talk, regardless, turn it off. But, the gentleman just ran by. He had his earbuds in, so I know he wasn't going to hear me anyway. So, but yeah, people are usually pretty nice when you walk on the trail most of the time. They'll chat with you a little bit, share a little story of their life. So it's nice. But there's a woman I was talking to, she was fishing there, and she's saying her sons are teens and they got in trouble by the police a couple of times. They were jumping off that very same bridge, so it's kind of funny. But anyways, this kind of section isn't as pretty, so I'll chat you in a little bit. Okay, bye. Oh, well, maybe I could zoom in and out, but I guess I can't. So, anyways. Hello, how you doing? Near the end of my trip, I walked, you should say. I'm in a lot of pain in the back. Hopefully you can hear me over this falls here. It's really loud, but pretty. Thanks for coming on the journey with me. Hopefully I'll show you some more in the future. Just come in my area around here. I'm kind of new to smartphones, using them, so I think it's going to be better than the other camera I was using. I took some photos and videos up there in the past during the prospecting time, the second day and Sunday, and hopefully they'll come out and get those out soon, but maybe I'll get this out in a week or two. But yeah, it was Wolfeboro's a nice town to live in. I like it. It's kind of expensive living, so I don't know if I'll be staying here in the future. I'd like to. We'll have to see. Anyways, springtime is a great time to get out, especially early. You can leave suck out the spring colors to typically they have that yellowish, tinge greenish stuff, so it looks different. Then peak of summer, it'll be dark green, and so you'll miss a lot of that. Plus there's other flowers and stuff come out. The birds are criticating, and they're happy as can be during breeding season. It was amazing that I was able to come up with those geese with their babies, and I was only feet away from them in the water. That was real cool. When I take these trips, little short trips, so they always see something. It's kind of neat. It's good exercise. You can try to get out 3 or 4 times a week now. Get in a walk. It really helps my back a lot. General good health, physically and mentally. Being out in nature, meeting people. This is one of my favorite spots to stop at all the time. I gotta check it out. And sometime I'm gonna have to post some of my video clips or pictures that I've taken, because day to day, week to week, month to month, season to season, it really looks different all the time. It's just amazing how much it'll change.
So right now it's running real high. I may be emptying it more. Well, we had all that rain too, but it may be emptying it more, getting it ready for the canoe race, which I think is this weekend. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll try to provide more of these for you to see what the area is like around here. So, watching a bird going across the 2x4. Now he's on that big pipe. Yeah, thank you again. And I'll catch you another time. If you have any questions, whatever, you can leave them in the comment section, and I'll answer them the best I can. Thank you. And I'll be showing you more of town again, like I said. There's the Bay Area. There's other areas just around this town alone, but all around the lake too. It's really nice stuff. Hopefully I'll be seeing some of you guys on the river in the future again. Yeah, I had a good time last weekend. That's spring running. Okay, peace out. See ya.